Let's say for this effect, I start off by showing all of the cards are mixed and shuffled. If the participant would like, they can cut the cards. Let's say they give them a couple of cuts just like this. If they would also like to, they can give the deck a 3-packet cut like this. And I just want them to stop cutting the deck whenever they feel comfortable. So let's say they stop here, and I'm going to show you one more time that all of the cards are mixed up and different. So I'm going to hand the deck to the participant, but before I do that, I explain to them, I would like for you to think of a number for me. Now, I don't want you to think of a number too high in the deck, because there is that possibility I could have memorized one or all of these cards. And the same thing goes with the bottom of the deck. I don't want you to think of a number too low because I could have memorized one or all of these. So I would like for you to think of a number somewhere far but not too far down. So maybe between 10 and 50. Now, if I had a participant here, they can name any number they would like. Because I don't have a participant here, however, I'm going to go ahead and use Siri. Siri, name a number between 10 and 50.
That would be 10.
And we don't want 10 and we don't want 50. So let's try it again. Siri, name a number between 10 and 50.
It's 17.
And in this case, Siri names 17, but it can really be any number. I wouldn't know the number, but the participant would. I would turn around, hand the deck to the participant, and they can deal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So now I would turn back around once they're done dealing and explain. Pick up the packet you dealt on the table that has your number, and actually in your head, take that number you dealt, the 2-digit one, and the 2 digits together and deal that many cards on the bigger packet. So in this case, they had 17. 1 plus 7 is 8. So in this case, they're going to deal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're going to look at this card and remember it. I don't want to see the card, but I will show it to you. Once they have remembered the card, they can go ahead and hide it anywhere they would like. In this case, I'm going to put it in the box. So now I'm going to see if I can actually find what card you have, which seems a little impossible, but actually it's not. So the first thing I would like for you to do is think of the color for me. Red or black. Red or black. Okay. I'm getting a feeling you had a red card. Now I want you to think of picture or number. I'm picking up on a number card. Actually, I think I have your card. For the first time ever, you were thinking of the 9 of hearts. And they would say, yes. I would say, go ahead and take the 9 of hearts out from wherever it is. And right here is the 9 of hearts. That is today's effect. If you would like to learn how to do this, make sure to stick around for the tutorial. Before I get into the tutorial, the cards that I'm using are the Theory 11 Marvel Avengers. I have a deck review on these, and I will link that in the description. So another thing is, for the effect you saw, everything you saw up until the end, where they take their selection and they hide it somewhere, and then I go through the deck trying to find their card, that is my ending for the effect. If you would like to see the original ending, however, I will leave that video in the description for you to check out. So there is a slight setup for this effect, so I would recommend having 52 cards, number one. You're going to go ahead and you're going to deal 8 cards on the table, so number 8, and then place one of your four of a kind in the ninth position. It doesn't matter what four of a kind, and it doesn't matter what order. So we will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll place a 9 there. We will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We will place another 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Another 9, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One more 9 with the rest of the cards on top. Now you will notice I have one extra card. Now this is going to be for beginners, or if you have trouble, you know, remembering cards, okay? This is optional. If you want to cut the deck like I did in the performance, you want to make sure at the end of the cut, and however, that you get back to the original sequence you're in. Therefore, you can use a marker card to help you out. Once again, this is optional. If you're great at remembering cards in general, you can just remember the bottom card. If you're new or if your memory isn't that good, you can take out any card you would like. In this case, I took out a face card. I placed him at the bottom of the deck, and that is your setup. So you can start off by showing all of the cards are different, and they really do look different. And trust me, no one is going to notice that the 9 of that, well, all of the 9s are in the ninth position. Okay, they shouldn't just look through, decide to count all the 9s. Okay, so if you just show this to them for a few seconds, not too long though, it's gonna work. So this is optional, but this is great if you have a marker card on the bottom. You can have them cut the deck like this, single cuts, okay? If you want to do triple cuts, a few things you can do, which I will talk about. One thing you can do is the JOC false cut, which I believe I have taught in other videos, but not as a separate video. However, I will link some false cuts in the description, which do use 3, possibly more packets than 3. So the OC cut is about a third, half, and then the bottom. And then you pick them up like this. Okay, that's all the OC cut is. And you can do this a couple of times, and then you can go right back and do cutting. Once they are satisfied with the cutting, you're going to show that these are all mixed up one more time, and all you're going to do is look for that King of Hearts or that key card. So in this case, I see it's right near the bottom. So while I explain that these are all different, I'm going to scoop up all of the cards. When I get to the King of Hearts, I'm going to put my thumb on it, okay? Grab everything, pull away, and then drop this half on top. So now it cut the King of Hearts back to the bottom, but your packet is actually gonna be in the setup you need. So now you want them to so the next thing you're gonna do is the number. I lost my train of thought there. So for this, you're gonna have to use the range 10 through 50. So technically 11 through 49 are gonna be their choices. So in order to get around this, but without it sounding forced, here's what I do. I say, okay, I would like for you to think of a number for me. Now, I don't want you to think of too high of a number because there is a chance I could remember one or all of these cards. And the same thing with the bottom. I don't want you to think of too low a number because I could remember one or all of these cards. And if you notice, I'm just pushing them off, keeping them as they are, and then putting them back on. And for the top, I do the same thing. I push off out 5 or 6, I keep them as they are, I turn them over, I spread, I grab them, keep them as they are, and I turn them back over. So I want you to think of a number, I don't know, maybe 10 to 50 range. And now they can really think of any number between 11 and 49 because you are going to be adding the two numbers together and then dealing down to the number. So let's go ahead and see what Siri wants to do. And keep in mind the participant would think of this number, you would turn around, and then they would deal it down. Siri, name a number between. Oh, let's try that again. Siri, name a number between 10 and 50.
It's 21.
And in this case, she thinks of 21. So you're going to hand them the pack. You turn around and they're going to deal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. You turn back around and you ask them to pick up the packet that has their dealt number, and in their head, take that number they dealt, add the two digits together, and deal that new total from the packet in their hand. So 21, we have 2 plus 1, which is 3. So they're going to deal 1, 2, 3. And if you did everything right, this is going to be one of your 4 of a kind. So you explain you can take this card, remember it, but then hide it somewhere. So let's say the box, for example, even their pocket. And now it doesn't matter. They could shuffle these cards if you would like. But once you get them back, you're just going to guess the card. So everything in the performance was just for show. You can go ahead and watch what I did again, but all I was doing when asking those questions was I was just looking through and I go for the first 4 of a kind I see. This case, a red 9, meaning I'm going to look for the other red 9. If I don't see the other red 9, I know that they chose the other red 9. So the first 9 I see is the 9 of hearts. So if I don't see the 9 of diamonds, they chose that 9. If you see both red 9s, go for the first black, in this case a club. So then you're going to go back through, and of course they would have to choose the 9 of spades. If the 9 of spades is in here, one of two things. Either you did the effect wrong, or you forgot about a duplicate in the deck. But that is really how it's done. So you just look for whatever 4 of a kind is missing, and then you can reveal it however you want. So I think I went through the whole deck, and I think the card you have is the 9 of spades. They take out the card in the box, and it is the 9 of spades. And that is the effect for today. So I hope you really enjoyed this one. If you are new here, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And this is also another great effect for really revealing anything. Check out the video in the description to see other ideas you can use with this. I just wanted to teach a nice beginner way of doing this. So yeah, this is it for me, and I will see you next time. Bye.